What's up?
Oh, did I hear that? Messed that all the way up. Too much going on in my life. What is up, Dr. Kristen? We are back after the holidays.
We made it. We made it through. We survived.
Just barely.
We're here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yep. We've all gotten what? COVID vaccines.
Mm, mm.
I do not have two heads yet. Just one.
My tail's only this long so far.
I've not died. I've been okay. So, how does everybody feel after the vaccine? Let's start there.
I mean, I think, the expected having a sore arm. Although I didn't feel like mine was as bad as the flu. And it didn't last that long. It lasted less than 24 hours. I did have a little bit of a headache the next morning, but I took some Tylenol and went away. I think I had a headache the next morning too. Again, just took some Tylenol. It went away, but that was about it.
I didn't feel the best. I mean, I felt okay like the first 2 days, but after that I got a little nauseous for a few days. But I feel like now I'm starting to come back to myself, I think.
Yeah.
So it didn't last very long, and it definitely isn't as bad as a COVID infection. Dr. Amber, what about you?
Yeah, so the next day I was very tired. And thankfully it was Christmas Eve and I happened to have the day off. And so I took several naps. My arm was very sore and my arm was sore for a couple of days. I actually, on day 2, it was still sore and I took ibuprofen. So we'll see. I'm scheduled to get my second COVID vaccine tomorrow. And I purposely scheduled to do it on a Friday so that if I developed any kind of symptoms, I would have the weekend to recover, because their chance of having what we call systemic symptoms, fever, nausea, muscle pain, fatigue, is a bit higher with the second dose, at least for the Pfizer vaccine. So just making sure I plan appropriately if I'm going to be not 100%.
Yeah, same. I have a couple weeks still until my next one, but I scheduled mine on a Friday for the same reason.
I scheduled mine on a Monday, so we'll see if I die. In the middle of clinic, like I got to run down like 5 minutes away from my office, get the shot. This is the way my life runs. Y'all know that. Come on now, let's get real. I hadn't planned on doing it that way, but it was like the only day that worked. So
I was about to say, sometimes you are kind of confined to the window of getting it, in whether it be that 21 or 28 day time frame. So
yeah. And I mean, I've told people this before. You never know how you're going to react to the shot till you get the shot. So we'll keep y'all posted on how we do with our next COVID vaccine and let y'all know how it goes. So speaking of the COVID vaccine and hot topics, we heard today that there was some drama in Clubhouse. So I'm the only one in Clubhouse. And when I say that, it means I've never actually been in Clubhouse, but I've been admitted to Clubhouse.
So tell the folks what Clubhouse is, because I literally just learned today what Clubhouse is. That's how not hip I am. That's how out of the loop I am. I had to ask them as we were talking before we started, what is Clubhouse?
So I've been in Clubhouse probably 2 weeks. I haven't done anything in it. So essentially it's a social media platform where essentially you don't see faces, but you just hear voices. So celebrities are on there. And so it's kind of like, it's supposed to be one of those platforms that, you really don't have to have any kind of, it's not about how you look. It's not about how you're dressed. It's just about the information, whatever information they're trying to give you at that time. So it's only for iPhone users right now. Sorry, you Androids.
Boo.
I know. Dr. Kristen's an Android.
Team Android.
Team iPhone over here. Team iPhone. So according to some of some social media posts we've recognized today, we've heard that there has been some drama between some African American female physicians and Tiffany Haddish and Jason Lee. So to give you guys kind of a background on the drama, essentially what happened was someone was giving some vaccine information, some of which was not factual, and some doctors kind of pushed back on the non-facts and essentially got cyber bullied by these celebrities fans. And I think a big thing is that we are living in a whole pandemic, y'all. So we really need to be mindful of what we say to other people. And then we have to be mindful, I don't ever want to use our platform to say, hey, I know, you guys don't hear us say, oh, we know you won't have those side effects. I don't know whether you have those side effects or not. But we have to be mindful of the fact that some of us have information that others don't. I went to a whole 4 years of medical school, 3 years of residency. I was a chief resident. I worked really hard for every degree I've earned. I did 2 fellowships. And so I'm well versed in novel viruses that we've never had before. And I do a lot of research, and I've been able to look at the research. So being mindful of the fact that we need to stop bullying each other is a really big thing. So,
and the other thing that I would add, just in terms of the bigger global picture, is that I want to remind people that brown and Black people are dying at 3 times the rate as white people from COVID. And we're also being hospitalized at 3 times the rate. And so it's a slippery slope to spread misinformation. And what's at risk? I always, when I'm having conversations with patients, friends, family, or staff members, I always tell them, ultimately, this is your choice, and arm yourself with information. But there's a risk that I think we need to talk about, that if brown and Black people are not getting vaccinated, the potential gap in these disproportionate rates of death and hospitalizations and serious consequences is real, and it's dire. So I agree with Dr. Tamika. Cyberbullying is never acceptable, but especially for this topic, a lot's at risk.
Yeah, and we definitely stand, with our fellow physicians, especially our fellow Black female physicians who, are selflessly out there just trying to spread knowledge and information to everyone, but specifically to our communities. So, we stand with them in believing the science. And, again, like we've been discussing, we're willing to get the vaccine ourselves because we believe the science. I think we even have a couple pictures of us getting the vaccine over the last few weeks. Let's see, we have those pictures.
While we're getting the pictures up, I really strongly believe that the best way for the medical to spread information is to lead by example, and to do more listening, and less spewing of facts, but listening first and then providing factual information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think listening is definitely very important, because that's one of the reasons why certain communities don't trust health professionals, because they feel disenfranchised. They feel like for so long no one listens to them. So that's a great point, Dr. Amber.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All righty, I'm gonna let you move your hair just a smidge. You can relax it on both sides. Perfect. You got a beautiful muscle. Do you work out?
Not as much as I should.
Yeah,
Definitely not since everything started. Alrighty.
That's your scoop. Okay. It's not a bad shot.
No, not bad at all.
Like she was saying.
I'm pretty sure they couldn't put a chip in you with that little bit of needle.
I forgot there was audio to that video.
I mean, you know, it's funny. It's funny, but not funny of some of the conspiracy theories we got. Like, they put a chip in you. They already got a chip in something. I promise. Before I even got the vaccine, I was thinking about getting a holder for my phone on my Peloton, and it popped up on my Facebook. I hadn't even said it out loud.
Oh, the stuff that be popping up on Facebook is quite scary. How much they listen to your conversation and then ads all of a sudden.
Magically.
I mean, Jarvis and I have been talking about getting a new mattress for like a month, well, for much longer than that. But I mean, literally in the last few days, I can't even count how many ads about mattresses have just popped up everywhere. But yeah, you know, again, all we can do is really study the information that we have and make the best decision for ourselves.
Yep. So Dr. Amber must have fallen off because of her internet acting up today. But me, Dr. Amber, and Dr. Kristen were talking about the Bus It Challenge.
No clue what that is. None.
It is really important that
Zero.
You know, you gotta, you know, you have young patients. You need to know these things. Like,
I'm so not hip. Okay, tell me, Dr. Tamika, what is it? What is
it's all a TikTok
challenge.
You know, essentially, you know, you in your pajamas or you in your like lounge wear clothes, just chilling, and then you hear some music and you're like, yeah, my butt's getting big, and you know, then you bust it. So you like, you know, back that thing up.
Okay, maybe I have seen people doing it and I was like, what? Why? I don't get it. So that explains it. Thank you, Dr.
But
Tamika.
I don't have busted knees. My knees are not for busting it no more.
I don't think I have a busted anything. So
I don't have busted. Yeah,
I'm a bow out of that.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what y'all are talking about. I'm back. I'm having some issues with my Wi-Fi. All I heard was busted, and I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I want to do it.
You know what?
I'll show y'all the video when I do it. I think my 9-year-old's gonna say no way in the world.
Oh Lord.
I tried to play it like I was doing it early, and RJ was like, please don't. Like, it's disgusting.
Well, we're gonna hold you to it, so
we'll see. I'm just joking. I'm probably not doing the busted challenge, but
it doesn't sound like. Oh
no! Denise said none of y'all better be busting it. Denise about to bust it. Y'all don't know. I'm still young at heart.
You are.
I am.
You might be young at heart, but like you said, you may not be young in them knees.
My knees are not young. They are old. They are old, okay? Busting it is not happening in these knees. All right. So today's show is all about healthy habits. What healthy habits are we bringing into 2021, and how can we help y'all bring in some healthy habits as well? So we'll start with Dr. Amber. What healthy habit, I know I switched it up on you. What healthy habit are you bringing into 2021?
So, you know, just as a little background, I am one of those who, as I enter a new year, the week or two prior, I start to reflect and, you know, look back on the things that went well, and, you know, looking forward to the new year about what I want to focus on. And honestly, I'm going to keep it 100% real. 2020 was just so much. I was just, by the last 2 weeks, honestly, I was just thankful and grateful for making it through. And so I was not as intentional about my reflection and setting up, you know, not necessarily New Year's resolution, but just goals. But in the last few days, I have thought about what I want to do in terms of health and wellness. And there's some things that I definitely want to continue. I'm a big proponent of mindfulness meditation. And so I try to do that at least on a daily basis, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes. I've been practicing mindfulness meditation for the last couple of years. It's not, for me, it's not a replacement for my spiritual prayers, but it is a way for me to just be centered, and to deal with stress, and an additional tool to deal with stress and anxiety. The other thing that I want to focus on is just being more consistent. I'm pretty active. For those of you who follow me on social media, I love to ride my bike, and I love to work out. I like the way I feel afterwards, and so just being more consistent in scheduling and being more intentional about keeping, just like I would keep a meeting. I would never miss a meeting for work, like ever. Like I would have to be on my, like be sick to miss a meeting for work. So just having that same dedication to my health and well-being, that same consistency.
All right, Dr. Kristen, what about you? What you doing in 2021?
Well, I don't know. After going after Dr. Amber, I feel like I ain't doing enough. No, I'm playing. But I'm taking baby steps here. The beginning of 2020, I actually was being very consistent with my healthy habits, with trying to work out consistently. I was getting into a groove of going to my gym. I actually love my gym. Shout out Lifetime Fitness. I love my gym, and I was going quite a lot. I have a really good girlfriend here. We would meet up and do classes together. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. And even though gyms have opened back up, I haven't felt comfortable going to a gym since the pandemic started. So my workout goals for the year are contingent on somebody in my household agreeing that we should get a Peloton. But we're going to talk more about that later, because Dr. Tamika has one and she is on it. So we're going to talk about that later. But in the meantime, one thing that I've always been bad at is drinking water. Always. As a kid, I don't even remember drinking water as a kid. If I wasn't playing sports, I wasn't drinking water. I was drinking juice or soda or anything but. And so as an adult, of course, I've made a more conscious decision to do it. But even if I would wake up one day and be like, okay, I'm going to drink more water, the day is halfway over. And I'm like, I may have had 2 sips. So, because y'all know I get distracted, I went out and bought this. It is literally a gallon water bottle that I carry around. And some days, every day I start it up here. Some days I get all the way down to the bottom by the time I go to bed. Some days I might only make it to here. But there are these cute little phrases on there, like remember your goal and keep chugging, that help motivate me throughout my day. And even my kids, now I get home from work and I bring my water bottle inside and they're like, "Oh, mommy, you got to drink more water." Or they'll be like, "Oh, mommy, you did so good today." And as y'all can see, I did not do good today because the water's still up here. But, you have your good days, you have your bad days, but it at least keeps me accountable. And I actually have a visual of how well I'm doing. So, when it comes to comparing yourself to others, instead of trying to compare myself to others, I try to compare myself to, okay, I'll compare today with yesterday. How well did I do today? Did I do better today than I did yesterday? And if I can say yes, I'm happy with that. I can't say that today so far. So I got a lot of work to do before I go to bed to say that I did better than I did yesterday. But that's my goal. I'm trying to, stay hydrated.
All right. So I guess I will go last. You got this, Dr. Kristen. You can do that water. The best thing to do with water, just a trick, is to chug a bottle like on your way to work and on your way home, so that you can drink half of your intake you've already done just in your car ride.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm a room temperature water kind of gal. I can chug like an entire bottle of room temperature water without taking a breath. But if you hand me a glass of ice water, I can only sip on it. So that's my little trick. Room temperature water only.
So and room temperature water tends to be easier for you to digest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You hear that? Easier for you to digest. I think I'm the only person in my family who prefers my water without ice. They think I'm crazy.
Oh no, I don't. Unless I'm working out, all my water is room temperature. If I'm working out, I don't mind cold water, but otherwise. So my goal this year was to get back into shape. I love to work out. I used to joke I'm a gym rat. I prefer to be in the gym. I could be in the gym for 2 hours without me thinking about it. I had a gym membership at the Y, Orange Theory. I have a trainer. And COVID hit, and all that went away. So I got a Peloton, and I'm not gonna lie, I would do workouts here and there. I did mostly the outdoor stuff. We had a treadmill, and even before I got the Peloton, I had that Peloton app, which I really love. Like, I love the app. They have classes for everything pretty much that you could want. And so then I was like, I need to get serious. So I joined BGM. So BGM is Black Girl Magic. It's on Facebook. If you're a Black girl and you're magic, you can get on there. And it's a Peloton group, and y'all, I've gone crazy. I get on that dang on bike every day now, which is really good because it feels good. My favorite instructor is Alex Toussaint. In case you guys don't know, he's young and sweet. He's an African American from New York, and I hate
That's
him.
why you like him, because he's young and sweet,
and he's fine.
Okay.
But I'm married, and he's too young for me. But I hate him when I'm on that bike, but he's my dude. Like, I PR every time I ride on his rides. It's amazing. He was on Today Show today, and he's also going to be on the Today Show talking about his story tomorrow. In case y'all want to check it out, it's super inspirational. He's a good person. And so that's what, the reason why we're giving you our goals is because we all have them, and it's not about making New Year's resolutions, because I know people are like, oh, new me, new year, new me is stupid or whatever. People have their own opinions about that. But we all should spend every year trying to be better, trying to match what we've done in the years past, but also trying to grow. And so that means you're going to continue to grow. And so that's the biggest thing that you should do in your life. And so regardless on what your goal is, small or big, make sure you have somebody that's holding you accountable to those goals.
Yeah.
And so my biggest goal, is to get on my Peloton every day. So I'm doing it. So this show really is about how
that accountability is so key.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm. And, I think that accountability. Me and this internet today, I'm so sorry. So, I think that accountability looks different for everybody, in terms of the way that you hold each other, hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, for sure.
So some of the stuff that I do to hold myself accountable is I get an accountability partner. Right now, it's Black Girls Magic, so BGM, on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. And the blessing is that you have a group of girls who just will propel you to do better. Hey, I'm getting on the bike today. Are you getting on the bike? I'm gonna run a couple miles today. And so that's really important, is to have somebody that's gonna hold you accountable. The other thing, start slow. Everybody is not on the same place as you. If you ain't ran a mile in 20 years, don't try to run a mile the first day.
There's a really good app, actually. I think it's called C23K. It's like Couch to 3K. I think it's still out. I actually used it a few years ago. I think after I had my daughter. But yeah, that's a really good one for people who are just starting out. Because like you said, you know, it's great to have big goals, but you got to start small because you're not going to get up from that couch and run a 3K tomorrow. So
yeah. I promise you're not. The other aspect of it is that whatever you want to do, you have to be consistent and set a time to be consistent. So not only do you need to set a goal, get an accountability partner, you also need to set a time. What time in my life am I giving? Because you're gonna have to give something up. Think about your life right now. Every day, my life is from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. I have things I have to do and get done. I'm at work from this time. I'm cooking dinner from this time. So what do I give up to make my goal happen? So for me, as these ladies know, I get up at 5 a.m. to work out. I heard it, 5, because I start my clinic at 7, so I get up at 5. It sucks, but my kids are still asleep, so I don't really feel guilty about having my alone time because they're still in bed. And 2, I'm not supposed to be anywhere else. And so you've got to figure out what works for you. 5 a.m. is not for everybody. It works for me because that works within my schedule, but it may be 9 p.m. for you, and that's okay. So you've got to figure out what works for you as well as having an accountability partner. So think about what you're going to give up. And, it might be a little bit of sleep. It might be, hey, I'm not going to cook today. I'm going to work out with my husband or my significant other where we split the cooking. So figure out what it is you got to give up. So Dr. Amber, what have you given up to hit your goal?
So it wasn't necessarily about giving something up, but it was just readjusting my schedule. And for me, I kind of live and die by my Outlook calendar. And so it was just making sure that I took the time before the week starts to look at my calendar and say, okay, which days can I fit this workout in? Prior to the pandemic, I too was working out at 5 a.m. I now train with a virtual trainer, and I work out at 6 a.m. twice a week. And then I try to do bike. I try to get on my bike either outdoors, depending on if the weather's nice, or on my indoor bike. I try to do that at least 2 to 3 times a week. And again, it just scheduling it into my calendar and being intentional about it.
Yeah. I think, once we get that Peloton, I think what I'm going to have to do is give up some of my time at night after the kids go to bed, where I just kind of binge in front of the TV a little bit. That's my protected time, but I think I'm gonna have to give some of that up, because I do think that
if you go, Jarvis, to get you that Peloton, you better set some time apart.
But see, also, this is the time that we get to like just chill without kids. So I mean, I be looking forward to this every night. Kids go to bed, but I do think that I'm going to. I don't have to eliminate it, but instead of binge watching 2 shows on Netflix, we might only be able to watch 1. Because I do think that it would make more sense for me to try and go to sleep earlier. Because I don't think that I should sleep less, because we should still get our sleep, a good number of sleep. I think I just need to go to bed earlier so I can get up in the morning, get my good ride in before I take the kids to school or go to the OR or whatever. I think I'm just going to have to limit it a little bit.
I think the other thing I gave up was social media. Whew. I am a really big scroller. I'll scroll for hours if I have the time.
Guilty.
So I'm trying to. So we have somebody on our. So it's really important, like, to give up something. And so I do say, okay, I set a timer now when I get on social media. So it's
That's
like
good.
5 minutes. If I feel like I only need 5 minutes to scroll real quick and read some stuff, or maybe I'll go to Black Girl BGM and say, ooh, who's doing a ride and when. I only got 5 minutes, and I've set a timer, because otherwise you get lost in the shuffle of social media all the time.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good one.
It is. So, any last comments about what people can do to set up healthy 2021 goals and habits?
I mean, I think that Dr. Amber mentioned it earlier about the consistency, because I know that's something I struggle with. I don't remember what the time frame is, but they say if you can do something consistently for however many days, it becomes a habit. One of y'all might know. I don't know what
21.
But there you go. See, I knew y'all so smart. I knew one of y'all was gonna know that. But yeah, so that's, consistency, and it's okay if you miss a day or two here. Just don't give up. Like sometimes I do. Be like, oh, I done missed a day. Oh well, that's over. So, give yourself grace. This has been, 2021 starting off like its brother 2020. So, give yourself some grace, but that consistency goes a long way.
It does. Dr. Amber?
Yeah, I had a really good friend who a couple of years ago, she told me I was struggling with, it wasn't even workout things, but I was up against something and I was kind of like dreading it. And it was a task or a project. And she was just like, just do it for 30 minutes. And it was just like a light bulb. It's so simple, right? I mean, it's not necessarily groundbreaking, but it was just so simple. So today, prior to us taping, I'd had a really long day. I had an all day Zoom conference, and I was really tired, and I got up at 5 a.m. this morning, and I just said, you know what? I don't want to just not do anything. So I just got on my bike for 20 minutes. And, I was proud of myself. I was like, listen, 20 minutes is better than no minutes. So, I just say, especially when you're starting off, just take it in small bites, small chunk. In my mind, I tell myself, just chunk it down. Whenever I'm up against some big obstacle, whether it's, work project or working out, I just say, chunk it up. 30-minute bite-sized pieces, 20-minute bite-sized pieces. And that builds up over time. That builds the consistency up over time.
Yeah. So I think the best thing, Dr. Kristen and Dr. Amber both told you is kind of give yourself some grace. Like, this is not perfect. You are not going to have every day we're going to drink all the water. You're not going to have every day we're going to get on that bike or Peloton. Jarvis, it's a Peloton, it's a bike, it's a stationary bike. I'll send you a picture and all the promos. Don't forget to get her the bike. Valentine's Day.
Send me your code too. Yeah.
You need my code so you can get the discount. But give yourself some grace. There are times when I only get on my bike for 10 minutes. My goal is to get on that bike every day. If it's only 10 minutes, it's only 10 minutes. And me and Alex will ride out for 10 minutes on a low impact ride. Anyways, you have to give yourself the ability to say, hey, today I've had a really rough day. Like Dr. Kristen said, 2020 and 2021 looking like twins right now. They're coinciding. We don't have, we've had more deaths from coronavirus than we ever have in this country. And so we already know it's just hard. So try to set something that is reasonable for you. Don't overdo it. Set a goal that is a good goal for you and try to stick to that. And if you miss the mark some days, then you miss the mark, and that's okay. But if you have somebody that is holding you accountable, and you also have the support from your people, and you've also set that time time to do it, trust me, it will happen. You will get it done, and it may not be every day, but it will be closer to what you had in the year before. So try to remember that. Enjoy 2021. Let's get past the first couple months, because y'all acting like COVID ain't real no more. It's still here. People dying, y'all. Stop. Wear a mask. Stay home.
Yeah.
If you're sick, it ain't sinuses until proven otherwise. It's COVID. So hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say. I don't care if you got tested a week ago and you have symptoms this week. It could still be COVID. And if you want to get the shot and you feel comfortable, get the shot. We all took our shot. You saw it. We'll get our second one and give you guys another update. It is scary. It's something new. We haven't done it before. So
I would also encourage people to watch our last episode where we really delve into some of the myths and facts around the COVID vaccine. So just arm yourself with lots of information.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, ladies. Thanks, guys. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, y'all, for joining.